Hi everyone. So we are live today on the TIP Q&A, and we're discussing something pretty very important on this conversation. So we're having on how you can become more for your child. But before we go on, I'm going to share with you a bit about myself, just in case you're joining me for the very first time. I'm going to be sharing with you just a bit that you just need to know about me. My name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm a parent coach, and I'm also an author of best-selling parenting book. Now, a lot of the times people want to, know more. So why should you listen to me? I'm going to tell you why you should listen to me. All right. Apart from the fact that I have also been a founder and done a lot in the parent coaching circle. I've also been able to sell my books to the tune of over 10,000 copies. So my books have also changed narratives, all right, as regards parenting. All right, so my first book, Connect to Correct, and then The Discipline That Works, and then From Yelling to Calm. All right, so these books have changed a lot when it comes to being a parent in the today. Part of what I do is that I help parents be able to change the narrative. And if you're watching me on our Facebook group, we're streaming live both on our YouTube channel and Facebook group. And part of what it said that we say is that if you want to really parent, effectively, then you must become intentional. That's actually how the name, the intentional parent, came by, right? So the Intentional Parent Academy is my brand, and that is an academy that helps parents to be able to actually go from that, from point A to point B. And then beyond that, our Facebook community called the Intentional Parent had asked also be put on the spotlight by Facebook to be one of the most relevant parenting group in Africa. And that also took us to the point where we became a representative in parenting circles in Africa, and took us to represent Africa in California sometime last year. So I know that we had a lot of people right here in the group, and a lot of new faces. That's why I deemed it fit to keep introducing myself from time to time, so that you know exactly who is speaking to you. I'm also the convener of the group, The Intentional Parent. So if this is your first time catching a live conversation with me, you're welcome here. Every Tuesday, we have Q&A sessions with the parents, both on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel. And that has, helped us to stir up communication. It has helped us to answer your burning questions. And many of the times, what we'll bring to you are the questions that you really, 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 want to have answers to. So before we start this session, if you have any question that you want us to touch as we're going through these questions, please do let us know, so that way we will be able to have a conversation on it as we go on. All right, so this conversation is streaming both on our Facebook channel and also on our YouTube channel. All right, so thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I see you. If you're just joining me, please, you can just say hi and tell me where you are watching me from. All right, I'm talking to you from the capital city, Abuja. And you're welcome here. It's our Tuesday Q&A, and every Tuesday we're here sharing live on conversations like this. Today, we are sharing on how to become more for your child. Interesting conversation. How to become more for your child. The question you want to ask is, how do I even start to become more for my child? So today I chose this topic because I've realized that a lot of the times there are lots of, round excuses, that actually go through our mind. The other day I was speaking to a group of parents and I said, Time is not the problem. Our problem is not time and money. Our problem is commitment. So if you're committed enough, money won't be the challenge, right? So what we need is not money. What we need is time, is commitment. And if you are committed to it, you're going to create all these other ones to be able to run through. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I see you, Tokbe, and I see you, Omolola. All right. If you're just here, coming in here, please say hello, say hi, so that we will know that you're here with us. Thank you again. All right. So let us keep rolling. So today, like I said, we're sharing on some tips on how you can become more for your child. The number one thing that I want to share on these tips is, how do you become more? Number one is for you to know who you are. A lot of the times we don't even know us, so it becomes difficult to become more. So if you're going to know who you are, your value system. A few days ago, there was a conversation on around friendship in our exclusive VIP group, the very intentional parent inner circle. No, it's not open anymore. For in case you want to ask, no, it's not open anymore. We're opening again the stream, another stream in 2021, and it will open in December. But while we're having that conversation, it was on friendship. But it was so deep that I got to see that a lot of people didn't even have what it takes, right, to understand who they were. So a lot of the times it's beyond what we're just saying. It's actually about who we are. And many times we don't even know who we are. So I say that you can't raise a child without knowing you. So your first point of call is to know you. Do you know who you are? That's how to become more for your child. You need to go sit down with yourself and understand, what kind of value system do I have myself? Many times we want to blame the children for being, who they are, right? Or for being what they should be for us. But a lot of the times when you really look at it, you find out that it's actually about us majorly. It is actually about us. So, which is one of the things that I said in my book, Connect to Correct. Parenting is about you and not the child. So, the first thing you want to know is who you are. Do you know who you are? I'm sure that if we do a value system check right now to say, what kind of value system do you have? I'm sure a lot of us will just say, I don't know. I just like to be sincere. But when you really check that value system, is it really us? Now, that's the question that you want to ask. Is that value system really you? Do you compromise on them without even knowing that that's what you're doing? So a lot of the times you are doing those things without knowing, because you haven't even gone introspected to understand who you have become on your journey. And who you are is going to affect the way you parent. So if you must become more, then you must understand who you are. That's number one. Number two, for you to become more for your child and become and parent effectively, you must understand your child. Now, there's no place for understanding you and not understanding the child. So if you understand yourself, it will be easy to understand the next person. It's difficult to actually understand the next person if you do not understand who you are. Understanding who you are is the first point of call. Then you need to understand your child. Now, when we talk about understanding your child, a lot of parents look at it like, oh, what are they saying again? When we talk of understanding, we actually mean that you need to begin to look at things differently. Yeah? So if I ask this question now, what do you know about your child? We started a challenge recently where, and I hope you're following that challenge, right? Where we were saying that we need to understand, sorry, excuse me, I need to fix it. All right. Where we're saying that we need to understand who our children, are. That challenge is a 30-day challenge where we are sharing, what do you know about your child? What do you know about your child? Parents have been following. It's holding on our YouTube channel. You can check the videos right on our YouTube channel, on what do you know about your child. So your child is So much. There's so much encompassing about your child. But many times you find out that a lot of parents don't know who their children are. If you ask, do you know how your child learns? A parent says, I don't really understand. You ask, do you know your child's love language? A parent says, I don't really understand. So if you do not know these things about your child, I don't know how you're going to parent that child effectively. Parenting effectively simply means that your child will understand you. Parenting effectively simply means that, sorry, you understand, your child. You need to be able to understand who you're raising. Who are you raising? That's the question you want to ask yourself today. All right. We're opening up the course called understanding how your child's learning style. It's amazing to know that a lot of parents don't even understand how their children learn. So it's important that you understand. Beyond understanding you need to understand. All right. Okay. Sorry, I think that was a little bit hitch, and we're back. All right. So you must learn to understand yourself. Understand your child beyond understanding you. You need to learn. Think of it. What are the things that your child have that you are able to really know? Okay, this child. I have 5 children. You see, some people they have 5 children. They want to use this same method, right? To actually get to, have use the same methodology for everybody. So that's where learning style comes in. That's where what else? That's where love language comes in. That's where a lot of things actually come in because of these things that we are sharing. So we're saying that a child is a complex being. So you can't just wake up and just say, oh, I know that my child. You need to begin to understand, sit down to actually study. You must know is that you must understand your child. For you to parent effectively, you must open your heart. Now I'm going to share a bit about this. You must open your heart. You must open your heart. Your heart will need to be as large as possible. Right? It's very easy for women to understand compassion, empathy, forgiveness. A lot of the times, we have a lot of men who struggle with this, but it is doable. It's something that you will need to learn. You need to open your heart. You need to be able to teach your child empathy. You need to be able to teach your child compassion. Compassion is the root of intentional parenting. Now, the fact that you actually show empathy doesn't mean that you agree to that fact. So recently somebody shared on, in fact, one of the parents in our exclusive gave me a movie to see, and I decided to watch that movie, Nimbe. And before I even started watching that movie, another parent also shared on the group about Nimbe. Now, one of the things that every parent should actually see that movie. One of the scenes, I'm going to do a full-blown review. I want to do a full-blown review on that movie. It wowed me. Not because the theater, concept was so, amazing or whatever, but because of the thought of creating a narrative, around ineffective parenting. It made a lot of sense to me, right? It's important that we begin to look at these things, differently. So when I was watching the part, if you've ever seen the movie, the part where the father told the son, I should go back to go and fight because someone beat him. It's a very typical scenario, very typical scenario in our climb. Hi, Louisa. Thank you so much, ma'am, Dr. Louisa Kasi. Thank you. Thank you, Joanne, for joining. All right. So it's a very common place. It's very common place in this part of the world where a child comes and says, my friend slapped me. Our response is usually, why did you allow your friend to slap you? Go and slap him back. That's usually our response. But people have argued that that's the right thing to do. Just like we argue every other thing, right? We argue every other thing. I see in the past couple of days in the group, there have been, back and forth on, who is right and who is not right. Oh, we shouldn't beat, we must beat children because that's what, the Bible is saying. Now, I'm not even going to go into that today. That's not part of this session. Yeah. But you know the truth. The truth is that movie at that point in time, that movie showed us it was something that we've said over and again, but it was painted in pictures. I shared a review on that movie and I said they were my words painted in pictures. Okay? They were my words painted in pictures. So a lot of the times, what we are looking at and what we see is goes beyond what it is that we just do. I keep saying that intentions are not enough. The man's intentions were not wrong. Yeah, his intentions was to build up a son who can man up the situations. But did he fail? Oh, yes. So I keep saying that intentions are not enough. Hi, Chinyere. Hi, Marybeth. Intentions are not enough. That's the truth. Intentions are not enough. To your best of intentions, you must learn to add skills. You must learn to add grit. You must learn to add empathy to it. So open up your heart if you must become more for your child. Open up your heart. You need your heart opened. You need to be able to see things differently. You need to, stop at some point and say, how effective is what I'm doing? That's one of the things that the boy's father in that movie never got to ask himself. And by the time he asked those questions, it was too late. When we say that there are things to learn on parenting, one of the reasons why we say that there are things to learn on parenting is because the child is not an experimental tool. The child is not an experimental. You can't raise a child on experiments. Unfortunately, when you do, it backfires because the child is human and whatever you do is impressed in the child's mind. We've argued that it's okay to shame children. Whoever told us that for you to make people feel better, you need to make them feel worse? I don't know where we got that from. That never works. And that's also the same concept why we want to always hit children when they make mistakes. I don't know where, who tells us that that's what we need to do. But believe you me, that's not anywhere near what we need to do. We need to begin to look inwards. And like I said, you need to actually open your heart. Open your heart. Learn to show empathy. Learn to show compassion. Learn to teach and show forgiveness. The next thing that you will want to do for you to become more for your child is that you must become a student of your child. It's similar to what it is that I shared on the understanding your child. You need to remember that your child is not you. Your child is unique. He has unique personality. You need to take time to learn who your child is and understand them. All right. So in this in the 30-day challenge that is going on right here on our YouTube channel. All right. If you're not part of it, you can just check the videos. Started yesterday. We've already shared the second day video. How well do you know your child? Part of it is that it will expose you to some of the things that you never thought of. The things your child's dream, everything. Children want your acknowledgement of who they are. They don't want you to live through them. They don't want you to live through them. They want an acknowledgement, all right, of who they are. Hi, Gloria, thank you. They want to be acknowledged. Children want to be acknowledged. So you don't want to just push through your own, stuff. Teach your children truth, not just what you believe in. Sometimes What you believe in might not always be true. Go back to your belief system, review them and find out what is true. Your children need to live on truth and nothing but truth. Yeah. Like I said, be the student of your children. The next thing that I would like to share, the next point, is show affection. Show affection. Incidentally, we have said that you cannot give what you don't have. A lot of people were actually raised without affection. So it's become, difficult. Yes, Fumilayo, when you beat, them, they're afraid of you and they hide secrets from you. Absolutely. Absolutely. They hide a lot from you. In fact, recently there was a testimonial that was shared in our inner circle where a parent, she's been, hitting the children. And then she now decided, okay, I want to stop because I have enrolled, in this class. And then she started listening more. And she found out that abuse had been going on in her home and she didn't even know until she was able to actually step back and listen more with empathy and with affection. That's the only time she understood what was happening. When she asked her son, so all these things you're saying, why didn't you tell me? The son said, because mommy, you've always beaten us. You are always beating. So I didn't know if I tell you that I was being abused, you were going to beat me. It was heartbreaking, but it's a lesson for every single one parent out there. When we argue some of these things, it's actually sometimes I want to laugh, I want to cry, I want to feel, I want to feel what is happening here. But you know the truth. The result that we have in the academy, bounces back and says, "Oh yes, this is it." I know that we are all at different levels of understanding on our journey, but you know the truth. You need to actually up your game. The game you're playing right now of using fear to actually raise your children doesn't work. There's a limitation. Like I shared at the TIP annual conference, if you were not at that conference, please do yourself some favor. Yeah? Sit down on the playlist. It's called the TIP Annual Conference 2020. It's right here on our YouTube channel. Sit on that and begin to review one after the other the things that are on that from the first lesson to the last. From the first, don't miss anything. People, got back to me and said it was like a master class, and that's the truth. It's a master class on parenting, treating different areas. The guy that shared on masturbation, what happened to him? Parental neglect. That's what happened to him. That's how he got to the point, where he got to, and couldn't even stop and had so of a mess. You don't want to be part of what messes your child up. All right, let's go. I said show affection, but you cannot show affection if you didn't get affection yourself. This is one of the reasons why you must go back to the inner child and heal the inner child. Well, we have this course in the academy. It's not running in this month at all. It's called Healing from Parenting Hurt. It's something that if you have issues hugging your child, kissing them, holding them, holding their body, showing affection, it could be from where you're coming from. And you need to deal with that. So it means that you need to go back and review what exactly happened to you in the past. All right. So you need to look at that and critically learn, what it is that you need to do. All right. So let's move. So you need to show affection. Showing affection means in the real sense of it, kisses, hugs. I know it's a tough call for most men, but I also want to say this. Please, if you're a man, your father, you're watching me, know that your ability to actually be connected to your child will help them, especially for your daughter. Now, in one of our courses, walking your child through puberty, yes, we're going to launch that this month. I will be announcing when it will be launching. Walking your child through puberty. Part of puberty actually says that early puberty has, its negative effects, including cancer, right? And part of how to avoid early puberty in children is actually for their fathers, for girls, for their fathers to get involved. So please, by all means, help the family system. We also had a conference for fathers. It was mind blowing, changed a lot of narrative in the fatherhood circle. It's also right here. Replays are right on our YouTube channel. But you want to actually take out your time to begin to look at things differently, right? Because there's a lot of consequences for all the things. Errors don't just go like that, there are consequences. You don't need to be ashamed of hugging your child, kissing them, and saying, I love you. All right, those words, I love you. Some parent told me, but my children already know that I love them. It's not enough. They need to hear it because the words you speak to your child is very, very important. The next point is that you need to share bedtime stories. How do you become more for your child? Share bedtime stories. Children like nothing more than to be read a story. In fact, that Mary Beth spoke bedtime stories is just awesome. It's just if you have more, please buy. I actually invest in bedtime stories a lot. So we invest in bedtime stories a lot, and then sometimes we even craft very silly bedtime stories just so that the children can get connected. They love it. They love it when you take the steps further, like you add a sound effect. Sometimes my husband is adding a sound effect. I don't know how to do all that drama. He's a very real drama person. And then the children just laughs. Let me tell you what doing that can do for your your children are not going to remember the toys you bought, the clothes you bought. They won't remember those. That's the truth. Your children will only remember the things that you did with them. My those memories that actually will help to build the child who is actually connected to you. Bedtime stories are awesome. In fact, I don't think the twins are 10. Our children don't miss bedtime stories. It's like an icing, on the cake for them at the end of every day. Without a bedtime story, you have it was your turn to share a bedtime story and you didn't. And in fact, it's like a sin in my fun around these bedtime stories. It makes it even more exciting. All right. So take out your time. Share story, even craft stories. In fact, recently it was my brother. All right. Yes, your made up stories. Your made up stories are even awesome. I was just going to talk about it now. Made up stories. The other day it was my brother. My brother made up a story of Shaki, Mavi, and one other character. So Shaki, Mavi, and one other character. In fact, it's been so hilarious that my children are not forgetting it. Their uncle have been around for a while, so they're jumping up and down and gisting about it and talking about it. Please create bedtime stories and create memories for your children. All right. Another thing that you want to do is be the teacher parent. Be the teacher parent. You need to teach your children life skills that they need. You see, all this, oh, you want to beat the child when the child makes mistake, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. What will help the child is the skills that they've been able to build. That's what is most important. So all these things that we're saying to ourselves and doing and saying, oh no, no, the child made mistake. We just want to. If you do not teach your children skills, you're killing them. You need to be a teacher parent, not just a parent who is just, just saying, just jumping up and down. No, you need to assign tasks. Don't just assume that your child know how to do things. When things pop up that you're not great at, learn them together. Think about all the skills that they need to be successful. Now, a lot of the times people don't even teach these things because they do not understand what skills they want their children to have. Do you have a parenting plan? What skills is in that plan? Excuse me. What skills is in that plan? What method of delivery have you put together? I'm going to share something interesting that is in our parenting plan. Funny, but that's how far, we're able to actually put a lot together on our journey. We want to be able to teach our son, patience as a skill. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't want our daughter to learn patience as a skill, right? So it was something that we decided for, so many reasons, okay? And we went further to say, we're going to let him learn some certain skills to help his patience bank. Now, if you're not doing that, if you're not putting up the house, it simply means that you're not really doing a lot. So you need to be able to actually put up the house. So whenever you think of, doing something, you want your child to have a skill, why not sit back and say, how do I do this? Why not sit back and say, how do I do this? One of the things I would like you to do today is go back, go and learn, go and look at all the skills that you want your child to have and ask yourself, do I have a plan on how my child will learn these skills? I think that's where a good place to start from. Do I have a plan on where and how I want my children to learn these things? And a good place to also ask question is, how does my child learn? Because, it's an error to teach anybody anything without understanding how to learn, because you will struggle, you will battle. One of those times, so many years ago, I realized that I was battling with our son, sitting in one place for, a while and reading. It was frustrating. I'm sure I'm sharing a story that is like yours. If this is you, then you need to understand how your child learns. What did I do? My savior, my saving grace was knowledge. I, understood how my son learns, took a course on it, understood how my son learned, and that was the end of all my struggles. I understood who he was. I became the teacher parent, and I was able to teach the skills I wanted to see in him using everything, right? Using everything that I, know. So I was teaching him from the knowledge point of view. I was teaching him from the knowledge point of view. What did he help me do? He made him become a better reader. I shared a post and I said that one of the things that we do is that we just buy books, dump it to our children, and just feel that they are going to learn. Nobody actually learns that way. All right? Nobody actually learns that way. You need to understand how they learn. And until I understood that my son was a dominant kinesthetic learner, I didn't understand the kind of books that would make sense to him. That's one. I didn't understand his interests. That's two. And until I got that into place and I started to understand that it's not because I want to buy books, everybody must read the same kind of books. No way, it doesn't work. Children will read different kind of books. You need to see us in a bookshop. When we're seated with, so many people looking all around, and you see us in a bookshop, the twins are at different corners, choosing what they want. That, that will make sense to their interest and how it is that they learn. Because our son is a dominant kinesthetic learner, you can't get him to have long reads. So you need to be able to understand. So that way, we're able to break his reading times in chunks. And today, he's an addicted. In fact, sometimes I want to get angry that he wakes up in the morning and he's reading a book. So You want to be able to help your child from the point of view of understanding who your child is, understanding how they learn. So if you must be the teacher parent, then you must understand how each one of your child learns. You can join our class on understanding your child learning style. It actually starts in just 3 days on the 7th of August. We're going to be teaching you exactly what you need to know about the learning styles of your child. I have a lot of parents. In fact, a parent shared a review this morning and said, if not for that class, she would have been in psychiatric home because she didn't understand why her daughter was learning the way she was learning. So that course will help you, walk you from point A to point B. So instead of always, oh, my child doesn't sit in one place, oh, my son is always jumping, you can actually parent from the place of knowledge. That placed our son on the star list in school, right? Just because we understood how he learned. And unfortunately, a lot of dominant kinesthetic learners have issues in this part of the world, in Nigeria. If you're watching me outside Nigeria, in Nigeria, especially, I don't know about other countries, but I think it's also the same, a lot of the times in many other nations. Because these people have, the struggle. The struggle. Why? The reason is that a lot of people don't understand why someone cannot just sit in a place. But that's their makeup. It's not something you can change, right? So how you're going to help them is from the place of knowledge. So if you're having issues, with your son not learning, you don't know how to help them, please come send us a chat and enroll for that course. I think we have just 2 more slots or something. I can't remember, but he's starting on the 7th of this month. All right. Then the last one I want to share. Okay, there are 2 more. Now I want to share one more. Okay, yes. Yes. Okay. Show them how to live. Show your children how to live. So one of the biggest parenting mistakes is losing yourself in the process. Let your children see all the things that make you wonderful. Show them your wins, your failures. Be as open as possible. The family comes first. I agree. But remember, your journey towards fulfillment does not end with just the family. You need to show your children how to live. You need to show your children how to live. Don't just live your life anyhow. Don't just make it as if get overwhelmed. It's just all about parenting and all that. Also sit back to also look at yourself. Am I fulfilling purpose? What more do I need to do? Show your children how to live. All right? It's very, very key for you to do that. Okay? And then share your failures. I'm not going to share a lot about this topic. I'm going to just brush over it. Maybe one of these days, one of these Tuesdays, or even before the week runs out, we can do something on this, on how to share your wins, your failures, and be as open as possible, because we know that this is a journey and is not an end. All right. Another thing that you can do to help your children become more is to create family rituals. Create family rituals. So when I say family rituals, it can be something as small as every Christmas we're all by ourselves. Or it can be something as small as every evening we eat at the same time. In my home, we have a dinner table ritual, right? So our dinner is at the same time because, of course, breakfast, everybody does eat at every time, when they are eating, when they are not eating, and all that. But when it comes to dinner, we try to, at every point in time, make sure that we are creating a ritual around our dinner time. So many times, dinner is when we have some conversations. Sometimes dinner is when we just watch, a particular thing. So creating family rituals actually helps you. It helps you to be able to, become more towards your children. So you're creating time. That family ritual could be a vacation. That family ritual could be anything, right? It could even be something as simple as what we do in my own home. the talk rituals, night talk rituals. So every night there's a talk session with each of the children. It doesn't have to be so long. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes. So I usually say that the problem in parenting is not presence. The problem in parenting is whether you're present with content and with connection. So you need to create family rituals, right? Then the next thing that you need to do is that you need to learn more skills. Now, this is our last point, learn more skills. Learning is a long life skill. Like they say, if you stop learning, you start dying. So no matter how old you are, learn. Knowledge is one thing that positions you as a hero to your child. So everyone sees everyone who knows more than them as some kind of hero. That's the truth. So time are changing. There are new technologies developed. You need to begin to adapt to it. Learn how to fix things around the house. The world is complicated. Recently, a parent reached out to me and said to me that she has a problem with her teen daughter who is constantly reading on Kindle. That what is even that Kindle thing? All I could see was a parent who has refused to become culturally intelligent to move from, that culture. I understand that a lot of us are very not, tech framed. But you know the truth? That won't help a lot of things. You need to begin to learn. You need to begin to learn. The question you want to ask yourself is, what do I need to learn per time? What do I need to learn per time? So go back again and look at yourself and say, for me to parent effectively, what skills do I need to develop? What more skills do I need to develop? It could be the skill of focus, for instance. It could be to feel of the skill of non-distractibility. It could be the skill of understanding the times. It could be the skill of just understanding your child. It could be anything. So you want to go back and ask yourself, what is that thing that you still need to learn on your journey? All right, I think we're beginning to round up. If you have questions, please share your question in the comment section. We're going to be able to see that. Let me check our Facebook channel. Can also be sure that we can see the questions. All right. So share your questions right on our Facebook on the comment section, and then we will be able to respond to them and then answer. Okay, yes, I can see that the questions are here. All right. Okay, awesome. All right. So if you're here, please share them. Share, 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 share. I want to keep the phone so that I will be able to see your questions as they pop in and they pop up, so that I will be looking at both platforms, both our YouTube platform and then the Facebook platform. I can see the questions dropping in here. So these are the things that you can do to become more as a parent. So if you want to become more as a parent, begin to look at these things that we shared here, right? So how do I become more as a parent? We've listed so many things that you can do to help you become more. So go through them again. The replay of the class is going to be available. You can go through them again and learn again. All right, we can see questions yet, but as soon as the questions begin to drop, we're going to respond to them. I can see comments from Facebook. Thank you, Tokbe, for bringing out the points. Yes, learn more skills, create family rituals, show them how to live. Yeah. Be the parent, be the teacher parent, teach them life skills, tell them bedtime stories, and show affection, as a show empathy. We've shared quite a lot, in this short session, right? So this session is, we've already done 45 minutes. Okay, I don't want it to be so long because we already have the challenge, ongoing. So I would like us to go, take the challenge right here on our YouTube channel. so that you can understand your child more. That challenge helps you understand who your child is. All right. So in this video, I have just shared with you tips and things that you can do to become more as a parent. What are the things that you can do to become more as a parent? That's what we have shared with you in this video. And I hope that this video has helped you learn a thing or two to be able to, get your journey moving. And then remember also, we shared with you that for you to understand your child, you need to understand how they learn. And we have also put out, the Understanding Your Child's Learning course out there for this month again. We've launched that course. In fact, there was a time we're launching that course every month because the pressure on that course was so much. It's a course that when a lot of parents watch, the first thing, when they go through the course, the first thing they say is, why didn't I know this all through these years? What happened to me? So instead of us just, sitting and just saying, oh, what happened to me? Why didn't I know this all these years? Come and equip yourself with knowledge. I keep saying that, it's not in the things that we're typing on social media. It's not in the how we wait, keep I call them keypad warriors. All those arguments are not going to take us anywhere. Knowledge is actually what we need, right? Knowledge is actually what you need. Okay, so can you shed more light on tubala rasa, the fact that a child is born vague and how the behavior is predominantly fed from their environment and not innate? I had a conversation with a parent that is not understanding his child, just wants the child to be auditory and nothing more. Well, the truth is there are innate, you know, um, characters, traits that cannot change because that's how the child is created. For instance, when it comes to learning style, you can't force a kinesthetic child, to become dominantly visual. That's not how they are wired. So yes, a child is born, and they feed from what is in the environment, but there are things that are inbuilt in a child that you can't take away. That's why some children come and they love a particular kind of love language. And when you're not speaking that particular kind of love language, it's a challenge to them. So children are different. So you cannot say, oh, because the child, I must force my child to do this. You actually cannot do that. That's the truth. You actually cannot force your child to become, learn, different, especially when it comes to things like learning styles, things like love language. People are wired differently. What you need to do is you can teach your child to also learn in an auditory way, but what you can do to be able to do that is to come from the place of understanding what it is that the child, can do in the time. So when you do that, like for instance, we've been able to teach our son, who is predominantly kinesthetic, how to learn visually and how to learn auditory. So how did you teach him how to learn auditory? We used music to teach him auditory learning. So these are some of the things that the class will teach you. How to use some of these tools to help your child enhance, these things. All right. Someone said, but schools force them to sit through hours. How do we manage that as a parent? I know what you're talking about, and that's why I said earlier that it's a challenge in this part of the world, having children who are kinesthetic. Really, a lot you're going to battle with a lot with parents, with school, because the truth remains that a lot of people don't understand these things. But if you do, you can help the school. That was part of what it is that we have also been able to do. You can help the school and you can help the child, right? So, for instance, you understand that the child is a kinesthetic learner. You can have a conversation with your child's teacher at the beginning of every school year. That's what we do in my home. My husband and I goes to school, sit down with the teacher and start conversation. See, this is how our son learns. This is who he is. And these are some of the things that we think can work for him. We know that we've used this. You can also try them and also tell us what you observe. We look at schools as partnership. We don't look at teachers like we're having a fight. No. We look at them like we're partnering with them. And I think that's the eye I need every parent to also see their children's school with. Look at them like you're partnering with them. Remember, the large equation here is your child. And it is for the benefit of the child. Forget the school. It's to the benefit of the child. So you need to actually begin to look at the child beyond what the school is doing. So how can you help your child? So you might want to go the extra mile of getting the child. I remember that one of the parents here on TIP, Brent came for a class, came for understanding your child's, learning style class, and saw that in that class there was no how she would be able to pull that off in the school where the child is, because they didn't really understand what it meant to be, in that school and to actually learn in a particular way. Do you know what she did? She went the extra mile to bring me to the school, made the school management, agree that, okay, yes, the teachers need training, the parents need training. It was an eye opener for the school, right? I did the training on understanding learning style. Everybody was opening their mouth, including the teachers. So it's a high profile school, trust me. But you know the truth. What you don't know, and there's nothing you can really do about it. You just need to learn it. So my advice would be, you can actually, if you understand the process of understanding how your child learns, and you begin to help your child and see progress, for you not to now, start fighting the school, because that usually happens. Because when you get a new part of knowledge, you're like, but they didn't even know that this, happens, right? So a lot of the times, so all you need to do is to go back and have a conversation, all right, on this. All right. So somebody is saying, my first daughter, I hope that helps, Choma. My first daughter of 16. All right. Choma, I don't know if you also want to ask more questions on that. If you do, let me know. Choma is my cousin, my first cousin. Hi, Choma. All right. So someone is asking a question. My first daughter of 16 sent me a message. My first daughter of 16 sent me a message on WhatsApp on Sunday telling me how she and our younger ones are so scared of me, that I beat them a lot and I felt bad. But listening to your program now, Fumi Lola, beating a child is not a solution, ma. It's not a solution, ma. Please and please. You can reach out to me if you want to take any course that can help you walk this journey. Because the truth is, I can't tell you, stop beating the child and do nothing. What we do is that we do the replacement for you and begin to walk you through the journey. It's not a one-day thing. You will see yourself sleep from time to time. But if you agree to it and begin the journey, you find out that there's actually a lot that you can learn. And you find out that there are alternatives to the way that you're reacting presently. And that will help you be able to move from that point A to the point B. So if you're just wielding the cane as a solution, your children just becomes afraid and hide things from you. And the child will actually go through a lot and you will never know. That movie, Nimbe, was so strong for me. The child hit so much. The child couldn't talk. There was no conversation. Everything, the home was so toxic. It reminded me a lot of parents that I have worked with. All right. And it's a typical situation in Nigeria currently. So I will advise, ma'am, I know that you're watching me on our YouTube channel. I will advise that you reach out to me, right? And then we can help you, walk through this. Have learned one or two things from you now, which I'll try on them because I don't want to lose them. Oh, you're not going to lose them, ma'am. All right. So you're just going to, start off and then, go and help, keep helping them. And if you've also haven't read my book, Connect to Correct will help you. This is a copy. Connect to Correct will help you, be able to work, your journey. One of the things that Connect Correct have been able to help parents to is to change, their mindset, first of all. So you need to be able to look at your mindset, and begin to even change it on this narrative. The truth is that you can't make someone feel bad and you think that that will correct them really in the real sense of it. So you need to begin a connection process. And this book, will help you. It costs 3,000 naira to get it in your location. We have pickup points in all the locations. So you can have a copy right where you are and, start your journey. It will help you so awesomely. I have a child who is a kinesthetic learner, and I have this same child with each of our teacher as she goes through the different classes. Awesome. Basi, awesome. That's the only way to actually get your child, to be able to partner, with the teachers. You sit down for every time our son is going through a new class. We sit down. We have time. We have time. As busy as we are, we create the time, for what matters. We sit back with our children, our children's teacher, and we rail out all the things that we think, they need to know. So, the teachers need to know, because you can't even teach someone you don't understand. That's our first point of call. So we help you through the process, and we understand that this process is, us, because the interest, all we are looking for is common interest. We have a common goal. You want our child to do well. We want our child to do well. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a common goal. That's one place that we all can start from, right? So please and please, if you have a child and you don't understand exactly, how it is to raise them, please reach out to us. Join that class. The cost for that class is 15,500, but I think the early bird is 10,500, and it ends right today, right? So parenting a kinesthetic child in Nigeria can be tough because our schools don't understand them. Exactly, Basi. Whoa, thank you. Schools don't understand who the kinesthetic child is. They just want all the children to sit in one place, and even parents don't understand them. Unfortunately, so a lot of parents don't understand the kinesthetic child. They just want, oh, I want to, can't he just sit in one place? He never sits in one place. Our son will be in a class, and we're being creative about how he can take his breaks, because that's one of the concepts that you must use for a kinesthetic learner. All right. Yeah. We need to actually carry them along. Yeah. And our teaching style is only based on auditory and a few visuals. But a kinesthetic child is most of the times not, considered. So we need to actually look beyond that. If you want to help your child, you want to help your child from your own view. So your own help for your child starts with you. It starts with, first of all, understanding who the learner your child is. So you need to go back and begin to, look at that, right? So reach out to us, take that class. Details of that class will be right here on this video, and also the description, so that you will be able to enroll for this class and begin to help your child. If you have a child who is not reading, it's because you don't understand how they learn. If you do, then you can actually help them, factor them into the kind of reading system that works for them. So there's no child who is an olodo in Nigerian palace. Yeah, there's no child who doesn't know what to do. So it is just all about us. It's all about us understanding who that child is. And if we must understand who our child is, then we must put in work. We must put in work. We must put in work to be able to do that. Right? So I see that there are a lot of people now coming up again, to watch, and I'm sure that we're going to be catching the replay. So if you're joining us and you're catching a replay, you can just, say, oh, hashtag replay, and, catch replay. You can catch replay on our YouTube channel right here. The video is going to remain here, or you can catch replay on our Facebook channel. Thank you so much. It's already 3 p.m. and I need to sign up because I have many other classes to actually attend to. And I just said that we were, going to start off, again on our TIP Q&A, and thank God we did. Thank you everybody for joining me here today. I'm so honored. And if you want to reach out, if you want to take that class, reach out to me. I'm going to share my number right. Look at the description of this video. You will see the number, how to reach out. And all our courses takes place right on the academy, theintentionalparentacademy.com, and it takes place at your pace. So you can take it at your pace, and you can also come back to it, anytime that you want. So thank you so much for joining me here today. You can catch replay, and if you're catching replay, just tell me where you're watching me from. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one for watching me. All right. Have an amazing day. And I'm sure we're going to see before the week runs out. We are actually trying to prepare a class that we can, a free class, yes, that we can actually share with you with a guest. Thank you, everybody, and do have an amazing Tuesday.